it's clear where your priorities lie. All right. And by the way, when you think about yourself and as offensive mind, all of these years you've had Joe Burrow placed out of the shotgun. It's not an accident that he's essentially been going 3 of the 6 seasons that he's been in the National Football League due to injuries, because he's been a target back there. Okay, you don't put him in play action situations behind center or anything like that. This is the Zac Taylor that we're talking about here. In terms of Chase Brown, I mean, I understand where he was coming from, and I agree with you, Jeff. He didn't call anybody out by name. I think I'm not going to say it's nothing, because I know that you have to watch what you say. I do understand that, particularly when you have teammates. But the flip side to it is that he didn't call out anybody by names. He just said, just finish the damn game.
Right.
You understand? Just finish the game. And I know I'm looking at Jamar Chase, and to be honest with you, listen, I'm not going to use the word disappointed or anything like that, because I think that would be too much. What I would say is that I would have liked to have seen those words come from Jamar Chase. Jamar Chase is the stud. Jamar Chase is somebody that I look at as the best receiver in all of football. This man is a superstar who deserves every damn penny, and we know how electrifying Jamar Chase is, and we know that his play backs up everything, okay? So to me, it's perfectly within his right to look at a defense and say, just finish the damn game. He should have been the one saying what Chase Brown said. But all he said was, nah, I don't want to, I'm going to stay in my lane because I don't want the defense coming at me saying something. Nah. It's like when you that dude, you can say that. When you that dude, you can do that, because when they lose, it usually ain't because of no damn Jamar Chase. So that, to me, instead of Chase Brown, it should have been that should have been Jamar Chase speaking. But that's just where I'm at with the Cincinnati Bengals. They're horrible defensively, just horrible.
The problem is rinse and repeat from last year. They're worse than they were defensively. We were having the same conversation a year ago. We have a minute. Go ahead.
Shay, that's how they built the team.
Hey, thank you.
So, I mean, everybody's frustrated they scored 80 points over the last 2 weeks, and they didn't come away with the win because their defense allows every opposing offense to play at the same level as the Cincinnati Bengals. That's not on the defensive players as much as it's on the front office and the ownership deciding that this is philosophically who we want to be. Now, as far as what Zac Taylor said, I respect it, because even though the Bengals put up 40 points, there are always things that you can do better. Or like Joe Flacco, not throwing a late red zone pick.
Right.
The defense after that sequence, though, ends up forcing a punt, getting your offense the ball back, coincidentally. How about Evan McPherson not missing a field goal?
Yeah.
How about that? Like, here's the thing that people don't want to talk about. The Cincinnati Bengals defense forced more punts than the Chicago Bears defense. They did. That's the reality of it. So, yeah, there are always things that you can do better, but when you get into the business of finger pointing, it becomes a dicey situation, and it doesn't lead to where anybody in that locker room wants to go.
They've allowed 300 points over their first 9 games. I mean, if that doesn't tell you how atrocious that defense is, and it doesn't look like they're not getting any relief. It's not like they're getting any better anytime soon.
Who signed on that thinking? Because they said, yeah, Jerry is Jerry, and yes, that could be a distraction, but he was that same dude that we played for. And it didn't stop us from doing what we did and being who we were on that damn football field. And so as a pundit, because a lot of times people see us, and here I am on First Take, let me remind you who I am. I've been a journalist for 32 damn years. This is what I do in terms of the journalistic part. You sit in front of people who know, and you listen to them, and you peel information from them. That's what I do with you guys every single week. Hell, I don't know a speck of football compared to y'all, but you'll think I do once I'm finished, because I listen to y'all, and I learned what you had to say, and I allow it to elevate me and my football acumen because I learn along the way. These guys are saying that's what you're supposed to be doing as a player. You ain't supposed to be preoccupied and distracted by Jerry being Jerry. You're supposed to understand what comes with the brand and make sure to elevate your level of play along the way. And the fact that they haven't, yes, some of that culpability does belong on the shoulders of a Jerry Jones. That's absolutely true. But listening to DeMarcus Ware and Michael Irvin, they're talking about the players. And so at some point in time, we all have to come together, and somebody's going to have to explain to me who's right or who's wrong about that. Because if Jerry Jones is sitting up there and saying, yeah, I brought some attention, but Jack, I'm also paying you $60 million. Go out there and handle your business. And Javonte Williams, I picked you instead of Rico Dowdle. Go out there and handle your business. And CD, you getting $36 million. Go out there and handle your business. George Lynch, you looking for a new contract. Go out there and handle your business. The list goes on and on. Micah Parsons, you might have won at 47. That's going to count against my cap. You could be here for $41 million, and you could make another $15 to $20 million off the field because you representing the Dallas Cowboys because of the brand that I created and the fallout that comes from that financially, or the windfall rather that comes from that financially. We can agree or disagree, but we can't argue with the fact that it makes sense to pick off CeCe's point. And I think that when Jerry Jones explains that, it provokes a more healthier conversation, because you're listening to him and you're going like this, well, I want to disagree. I mean, I got things that I could challenge, but damn, it ain't like he ain't making sense. He is making sense. And when you look at the level of success or lack thereof, we've seen Dallas win 12-game seasons, have 13-win seasons. We've seen them going into the postseason with expectations, and they just plummet in the big moment. Well, was that about Jerry, or was that about them? How you good enough to win 12 or 13 games, but then you wet the bed come playoff time? Is that about Jerry and noise, or is that about you? I'm not saying I have the answer, Jeff, because I don't. What I'm saying is, NFL players, just as experienced, just as successful as you, might have a different opinion about it. And it'd be interesting to hear it, because I found myself flabbergasted, because I'm ready to jump all over Jerry and the Cowboys and going off. And then I'm going like this. Yeah, but did that have something to do with you fumbling that damn ball? Did that have something to do with that interception? Did that have something to do with that missed tackle? What's going on? I mean, Jerry going to be Jerry. What the hell I got to do with you doing your job?
Yeah, I hate to agree with Stephen A. on this point, but as a former Dallas Cowboy, I got to co-sign on it. I believe that the success of the brand has undermined the product on the field. And it's not because of anything that Jerry is doing wrong. It's because of the comforts that it affords those players that are associated with the Dallas Cowboys.